She will never tell you the moment she lost respect for you. She won't say it. She won't warn you. She won't sit you down and explain what changed. Respect doesn't disappear with a fight. It doesn't disappear with a disagreement. It disappears quietly. When you stop being the man she believed you were. And by the time you finally realize it, the relationship is already gone. You're just the last one to find out. Let's talk about the things she never admits, but always acts on. Most men think women lose respect suddenly, after a big argument, after a mistake, after something dramatic. But that's not how it works. Respect erodes in silence. It melts under the surface. And it happens because of something most men never even notice. The moment you start chasing her approval instead of leading your own life. She won't admit this because it sounds cruel. But she feels it. And you need to understand it before it costs you the next relationship too. Here is the truth no one wants to say out loud. A woman doesn't lose respect for you because you failed. She loses respect for you when you start acting like you need her more than you need your own standards. When your self-respect becomes negotiable. When your boundaries become flexible. When your emotional stability depends entirely on her mood. Respect is not about perfection. It's about consistency, direction. It's about a man's internal compass. And the forbidden truth is this. The second you abandon that compass for her, she stops trusting you. She won't tell you this because it makes her feel guilty, but she will feel it, and she will act on it. Let's break this down into 3 layers to truly understand what's happening. Layer 1. The surface behavior. When she becomes distant, colder, shorter with her responses, you think she's stressed, busy, confused. You tell yourself she's just going through something. But these are surface signals. They're symptoms, not the cause. The real cause is this. She's slowly disconnecting because she no longer feels anchored by you. The emotional gravity in the relationship has shifted. And the more she pulls away, the more you try to pull her back. More effort, more reassurance, more apologizing for things that didn't even need an apology. And that desperation is the exact behavior that accelerates the loss of respect. Now for layer 2, the psychology underneath. What's really happening here is simple. Women are drawn to men who are rooted in themselves. A man who is calm, certain, not because he pretends to be, but because he genuinely is. When she senses your uncertainty, your emotional dependency, or your deep fear of losing her, her instincts flip from follow to question. And here is the part no one wants to talk about. Women cannot respect a man they fear might collapse emotionally without them. It's not fair. It's not politically correct. But it's real. Respect comes from stability, not from attachment. This leads us to layer 3, the male mistake. Most men respond to this shift in the completely wrong way. You try to fix the relationship. You try to talk it out. You try to prove your worth and show her how much you care. But caring isn't the problem. The problem is that you made her the center of your emotional universe. When a man gives up his direction, his mission, his grounded energy, the relationship becomes unbalanced. She starts carrying all the emotional weight. She starts guiding the connection. She starts leading without wanting to. And a woman who has to lead will eventually resent the man who forced her into that role. That resentment is what we call lost respect, but it's really a misalignment created by a man losing himself. This is the part she will never, ever admit. Because admitting it means admitting she stopped believing in who you became. There's always a moment when everything shifts, not for her. For you, you realize that every time you tried harder, she drifted further. Every time you explained yourself, she felt less. Every time you chased, she disengaged. That's when it hits you. Respect isn't won by effort. It's held by identity. You don't gain respect by convincing her of your value. You command it by being a man she can feel anchored to. And the moment you stop chasing her approval is the moment she starts seeing you differently again. Not because you're trying to change her mind, but because you changed your entire stance. So what actually restores respect? It's not words. It's not promises. It's definitely not long emotional explanations. It comes down to 3 fundamental shifts. First, recenter your life around your direction, not the relationship. A man with a mission is magnetic. A man without one becomes a burden. Second, stop over-communicating your feelings. Your emotional stability speaks far louder than constant emotional downloads. And third, enforce the boundary you abandoned. Not with anger, with quiet certainty. When you regain your own equilibrium, she feels it. Women are hypersensitive to shifts in masculine energy. And here is the final forbidden truth. She responds more to your internal state than your external actions. You change your mindset, and the entire relationship dynamic changes with it. You didn't lose her respect because you weren't enough. You lost it because you stopped being you. Respect dies quietly, not with a scream, not with a dramatic breakup, but with a slow erosion of who you were when she first chose you, when you abandon yourself. She eventually abandons the relationship, not out of cruelty, but out of pure instinct, because no woman can trust a man who doesn't trust himself, and no woman can follow a man who follows her. This is the truth she will never admit, but it's the truth you must understand. If you want to understand the deeper, forbidden dynamics that make or break modern relationships, you already know where to find the next truth. Thanks for watching. Follow for more.